And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to Phoenix International Raceway as we get ready here for our Snickers Cup Series event, race number 2 of the Snickers Cup Series here in Season 7, that is, with the running of the Subway Fresh Fit 500. These drivers all coming off either a good Daytona 500 or a poor showing in the Daytona 500, and so several different strategies coming into today's race. Drivers who did well trying to keep the consistency up, and drivers who did not do so well trying to bounce back. If they're going to move themselves through the standings quickly from bottom to top, they've got to do it here early on, because the better you finish early on, the more spots you pick up in the standings. As the season winds on, it gets very difficult to pick up positions in the points as quickly as you can here in the beginning races. Getting ready for today's event, Michael Waltrip Racing continues on their good luck streak, if you will. Charles Sandfer picked up his first career Snickers Cup Series win last week, picking up the Daytona 500 win, and his rookie teammate, who actually finished 4th last week as well, Kyle Corbett, sits on the pole position for today's race. So watch out for Michael Waltrip Racing. They've made some strides in the last few seasons, and they really could. This could be their hay year. If they end up getting a lot more momentum than they've gotten now, they could have, I seriously think, all 3 of their Toyotas in this season's chase for the championship. And Corbett's going to start alongside of James McLeod, but we're going to save all that for when our starting grid comes. So let's get these cars rolling off. They'll complete a couple of pace laps, and while they do that, we will show you the starting lineup for today's event here, the Subway Fresh Fit 500 at Phoenix International Raceway. We've already had a great Truck Series and Mobile Cup Series event here. We'll see how they do. Here comes your 42-car starting lineup. Starting on the pole for today's race, as stated, rookie Kyle Corbett comes in 4th in the points and 2nd in rookie points, and alongside of him, a driver who suffered a DNF last week at Daytona, James McLeod from Phoenix Racing, comes in 39th in the point standings. So for Corbett, is trying to keep the consistency going. For McLeod, is trying to get some redemption. In row 2 will be Chris Washer in the Dodge from Everham Motorsports. Chris Washer also finished poorly at Daytona in 37th place. And alongside of him is going to be Red Bull Racing's representative of Joshua Michaels, who finished in 30th last week at Daytona. Moving over to row number 3, Bob Jones, the rookie points leader and the runner-up in the Daytona 500 last week. He'll roll off from 5th place, and alongside of him will be Austin LaPlante, who had a top 10 last week at Daytona as well, comes in 8th in the current standings. Richard Johnson going to line up in 7th position on the inside of row number 4. Richard ended up having a rather mediocre Daytona 500, finishing in 22nd place. Alongside of him, Levi McIntyre, who had probably a very difficult Daytona weekend, ended up finishing dead last and comes in dead last in overall standings and rookie points. Row 5 holds our Daytona 500 winner, Charles Sandfer, rolling up from a good qualifying spot here today. Sandfer obviously comes in as the points leader by 6 points over Bob Jones. And then alongside of him, Petty Enterprises Dodge of Joshua Collard, who ended up finishing a top 15 of 15th place last week and comes in 4th in rookie points. Mary Cole in the number 18 for Joe Gibbs Racing lines up on the inside of row number 6. Mary had a 14th place finish last week, and alongside of her, William Duncan, who finished top 10 in the 10th position and comes in top 10 in the points. Jacob Lawler, who came in last week as a former Daytona 500 winner. Daytona was not kind to him. He comes in 41st in the point standings, and alongside of him, rookie Ian Dudd out of Stewart Haas Racing also did not have the best of runs. Oh, actually, no, he did have a good run. He had 12th place run at Daytona last week, and actually comes in 2nd highest of the Stewart Haas Racing cars in the point standings. Speaking of Stewart Haas Racing, his teammate Jake Cole is going to line up on the inside of row number 8. Jake Cole had a very tough Daytona 500, finished a lap down in the 29th position. That's where he comes in the standings. And Dylan Schwallenberg, he had a tough Daytona 500 as well. 32nd in points is where the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota comes into today's race. Row 9 going to hold Michael Norman in Free Machine. Michael Norman ended up finishing 17th last week at Daytona, and alongside of him, Sean Henley, a former Snickers Cup Series champ. Henley ended up finishing in position number 23 at Daytona, comes in as 23rd in points, and he'll complete row number 9. In row 10, rookie Megan Atkins, who actually did not have the best of runs in the Daytona 500, but actually had a good car early on. Megan Atkins finished 31st that day, and then Sean Galligan lines up alongside of her. Galligan comes into this race 33rd in the point standings. Both the 33 and the 44 looking for good runs. Harrison Langford in the 45, Petty Enterprises, finished 20th in his first career start in the Snickers Cup Series last week at Daytona. comes in 20th in points. Alongside of him, Nick Barney, who finished in 40th place due to a DNF last week at Daytona International Speedway. Then Michael Norman Racing, or Motorsports I should say, represented in row 12 with Jessica Shelton. Shelton finished 25th last week, and Andrea Eriksson for the new Sega Racing team. More on that in a moment. She's going to line up on the outside of row number 12. Andrea Eriksson finished last week in 16th place. Trent Dunham, another driver for the new Sega Racing. He's going to line up in the 25th position on the inside of row 13. Trent ended up having a very difficult Daytona 500, was able to at least finish, or he didn't finish the race, DNF in 35th position. Alongside of him, Dougie Shears, who ended up qualifying well and finished fairly well in the Daytona 500 in the 19th position. He comes in 19th in the points. Row 14 is going to hold Dylan Poteet, who had probably one of the worst Daytona race weekends of any driver last week. He ended up coming into this race 36th in points after a DNF last week, and alongside of him is going to be Kyle Matthews in the number 5 machine. Kyle Matthews also did not have a great Daytona 500, comes in 28th in the current standings. Then it's going to be Penske Germain, all in row 15. Jake Rogers alongside of Dylan Young. Now, Jake Rogers finished 13th last week at Daytona. Dylan Young, however, was not so fortunate, finished in 34th position. The two of them going to start side by side, and then teammates going to start off in row number 16 as well. Ralph Mason and Noah Hart. Mason ended up having a good Daytona 500, finishing in 7th. Noah Hart, not so bad as well, finished in 18th place. Then in row 17 is going to be Cody Lamas in the 15 for Michael Waltrip Racing. Cody finished mid-pack in 21st place in the 500, and alongside of him, Pichu London finished in 11th place and comes in just outside the top 10 in points. Cole Daly, who undoubtedly had one of the best Daytona speed weeks of all the drivers in Snickers Cup, he comes in 35th on the starting grid and comes in 9th in the point stands. And alongside of him, Danny Wells, who finished 3rd in his debut for Phoenix Racing last week at Daytona, comes in 3rd in standings, 7 points out of the top position. Making up row 19 is going to be Drew Austin, former winner last season and our winner in the Moblin Cup Series race here yesterday. He's going to be driving that number 9 machine, and he comes in 26th in points, and alongside of him, Kenny McCurry, who was scheduled to start on the pole position for the Daytona 500, ran into problems and finished 24th last week, comes in thus 24th in the standings. Cowtech drivers starting in the same row as each other, further up and back here in row number 20, James Silverfox, who comes into this race 6th in points after a good run last week, will start alongside of Anthony McCurry, his Audi teammate. McCurry did not have a good 500, finished 38th and DNF. And then the defending champ, Charles Jackson, starts way at the back here today. A lot of work for him to do as he'll start off from the 41st position. Jackson had a great run of 5th last week at Daytona, and alongside of him will be John Cittadino. Second week in a row, Cittadino has started in the final row, and Cittadino comes in 27th in the current standings. That's a look at your starting lineup for today's Subway Fresh Fit 500 at Phoenix International Raceway. Let's head now to the green. Getting ready to go under the green flag here at Phoenix. How would it be for Michael Waltrip Racing to be able to pick up 2 wins to start off the season? One with Sandfer and here with the pole sitter Corbett. We're going to have to see if that's going to be the case. That'll happen today. And then we're going to be talking quickly here about the newly formed Sega Raceway. It's still the old Earnhardt Ganassi racing drivers of Andrea Eriksson, John Cittadino, and Trent Dunham, but they've renamed their team, and we'll see what kind of luck it brings them here today as the green flag comes out. Kyle Corbett going to get us underway, and he's going to get away pretty quickly. Joshua Michaels gets moved up to the high side there. Chris Washer going 3 wide. Bob Jones making it 3 wide on the inside there for second. Oh, don't do that. They're 3 wide, 2 rows deep. McLeod, fortunately, going to back out of that throttle. Richard Johnson, though, comes into view. Here he comes 3 wide, almost 4 wide there. There was another car that went 4 wide with him. That's not going to end well. And we're still cleaning green, amazingly enough. I was expecting being 4 wide off of 4, we'd have had a caution. And, oh, there's the caution. Caution is out. Okay. I didn't think they'd be able to go 4 wide off of 4 and not have something happen, but Corbett still trying to lead them around here to the caution flag. Bob Jones has now moved into second. Richard Johnson now up to third. And Corbett, oh, Jones gets the wall too. So Corbett's going to be the leader under caution. Jones in second. Johnson third. Looks like a spin in turn 1. McLeod somehow is still fourth after he was up at the high side of a 4-wide battle, and Charles Sandfer, our winner last week, has now worked his way up to 5th. Oh, Jacob Lawler appears to have spun. I don't know what happened to him. Dougie Shears has got some damage, so is Kyle Matthews. And everybody else, somehow, some way, appears to be okay. Aside from the right side damage, which some drivers probably got after hitting the wall off of 4. And oh, looks like Bob Jones going to roll some dice here as far as pit strategy is concerned. James McLeod as well, Chris Washer, they're all coming to pit road here on lap number 3. So interesting pit strategy being played out here. I don't know who this caution really involved. I saw Jacob Lawler slow. Maybe it was him. So as some drivers are going to elect to come down pit road very early here in our Phoenix race, let's jump back now, look at a replay of what put us under the caution for the first time today. Well, this incident started all the way back in turn 4 right there. Dougie Shears gets the wall, comes down off the nose of Kyle Matthews. And then you see they're 3 wide there with Cody Lamas, Ralph Mason, and Kyle Matthews. And oh, it's going to be Pichu London that Shears comes back up into. Jake Rogers gets a piece of it there as well. I think Dylan Young, his teammate, may have gotten the wall a bit there in the 2 machine. And Noah Hart, whoa, just squeaks through. And there is Dougie Shears, and there is Kyle Matthews. Those two getting together. I thought I saw the 11 of Jacob Lawler in trouble, though, too. Where's he? Must be up here further. There he is. Did he get spun coming around the second time, maybe? Yep, that's exactly what happened. Right there. Slides up off the corner, going to make contact with Joshua Michaels. Turns him down. He clips the rear of the Jake Cole machine. Now, Jake Cole was able to use Joshua Michaels as a little bit of a buffer there to keep him from spinning around. Mary Cole, nice job getting on the brakes to avoid her teammate. And Jacob Lawler, fortunately for everybody else, it was a solo car spin for the Sports Clips Toyota. So we ended up having a 2-car incident in turn 1 that actually brought out the caution, and then a solo car spin on the front straightaway coming down to receive that said caution flag. We are really getting away with murder here this race weekend at Phoenix, no doubt about that, and hopefully it's going to be able to continue. I don't think anybody's going to be DNFing after this first incident here today at Phoenix, which is, to me, quite a good thing. So let's head back now to the restart, see where everybody's going to restart here with just getting underway in the Subway Fresh Fit 500. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. Kyle Corbett still out in front. As we saw, a number of drivers decided to come down pit road, use some pit strategy. They'll be starting at the rear of the field, and we'll see if they'll be up front when this thing is over. Richard Johnson lines up in second. Third place is our points leader, Charles Stamfer. Then you got Austin LaPlante in 4th. 5th place, Joshua Michaels. 6th is Jake Cole. 7th, Joshua Collard. 8th place, Ian Dutta. Andrea Erickson's in 9th, and 10th place is Mary Cole. Then you got William Duncan 11th. 12th place, Harrison Langford. Dylan Poteet 13th. 14th, Sean Henley. Dylan Schwallenberg is 15th. 16th is Megan Atkins. Nick Barney runs in 17th. 18th, Trent Dunham. Ralph Mason in 19th. And Dylan Young is in 20th. Jake Rogers 21st. 22nd, Noah Hart. 23rd, Cole Daly. Anthony McCurry up to 24th now. Jacob Lawler slid across start-finish line in 25th. That's where he'll restart. Kenny McCurry in 26th. 27th will be Drew Austin. Charles Jackson 28th. 29th is Danny Wilson. 30th, John Citadino. Back through the top 40 is James McLeod, Bob Jones. All these drivers came to pit road, by the way. Chris Washer, Levi McIntyre, Michael Norman, Jessica Shelton, Cody Lamas, Sean Galligan, Pichu London, and James Silverfox. Then it's Chris Washer and Dougie Shears completing the field. 42 cars took the green flag. 42 cars will take the green here on our first restart. No one has retired so far. Richard Johnson trying to run a lower groove than Kyle Corbett off this corner. Can he get the run? Meanwhile, Austin LaPlante under Charles Sandfer for 3rd, and here comes Johnson to the inside. Richard Johnson trying to pick up the victory here. Johnson went the entire season 6 without a victory, but finished very well in the point standings. Well, look out! Michaels just got turned. Michaels got turned around. I don't know whose nose it was. It might have been Sandfer's, but I'm not sure. Caution flag is going to wave once again. That was right up at the front of the field. Oh man, lots of cars back here are damaged. I saw Drew Austin. I see Cody Lamas, Dylan Schwallenberg, lots of damage. Dylan Young is damaged. I thought I saw Trent Dunham with damage back there. Joshua Collard. Oh, look out, they're backing into each other here. Trent Dunham got rear-ended by Sean Henley. Noah Hart's gotten a piece of it. John Citadino's been involved. Looks like James McLeod may be involved back here. A lot of drivers who came to pit road under that last caution involved in this could not get through it without a lot of damage. Look at the 20, look at the 15. Both of them badly crunched. I think I just saw Kenny McCurry back there. I think his hood's all pushed in. Yes, it is. Charles Jackson started in the final row today. He's got a lot of damage on his Geek Squad Dodge. And oh boy, Jake Rogers coming to pit road. There's Noah Hart. Jake Cole is damaged. Cole Daly's on pit road. Dylan Young, Mason. Joshua Collard is smoking. What a tough break for him. A lot of drivers involved, and it looks like only the top 5 have decided to actually be out there. There's come some other drivers. There may have been some drivers actually made some legitimate pit stops under that lap, but nonetheless, this was what we were afraid of here at Phoenix, and it just happened. And it started right up at the front of the field, and that just spells out disaster. And Joshua Michaels, a tough break for him, a good qualifying spot, and it just all goes to waste here today as he got turned around. I think it was by Charles Sandfer. I'm not certain, but we're going to find out because we're going to jump back and look at a replay now of what put us under the caution for the second time here today at Phoenix International Raceway. Well, here's a look at what happened coming off of 4. And it was indeed Charles Sandfer up there, but Michael slid up the corner as well. And right there, he runs into the 55. Around he goes. Oh, man, Joshua Michael's going to wheel hop a little there. That spins him around. And then everybody else not going to slow up. And here they come. Dylan Poteet, hard hit there in the left, or in the right front, I should say. Schwallenberg, Jake Cole, Sean Henley, all come piling in. There's Drew Austin getting a piece of it. Danny Wells runs in the back of him. Lawler flips his own teammate Schwallenberg over. And then look at Joshua Collard, left side of your screen, getting hit by Trent Dunham, Harrison Langford. Oh, man, James McLeod gets pile driven by Kyle Matthews. Jessica Shelton got nailed by somebody. I don't know who that was. Her car wheel hopped in the air. Charles Jackson's car actually was jacked up by Kenny McCurry as well. Jake Rogers got a piece of that. So did John Cittadino, Michael Norman, McCurry, Dylan Young. I'd be surprised if any driver back there really didn't get a piece of this incident, and there are going to be a lot of drivers back behind the wall as a result of this. We got away with murder, as I said, under our first caution. This one's one of our typical Phoenix wrecks, and this is really going to send quite a few drivers into the garage area, end their day awfully quickly, and that's a tough break for a lot of drivers who actually had good qualifying results. A lot of drivers who had been to pit road one caution earlier were trying to use some pit strategy, and this is going to spell out pretty bad news for all of them as we're under the yellow for the second time today. Let's head back now for the restart. We'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here at Phoenix, and unfortunately this restart we will not have 42 drivers coming to receive the green flag. There are quite a few drivers that have gone back behind the wall as a result of the incident we just saw take place, and they are as follows. Dylan Poteet is out of the race, also Joshua Collard, Joshua Michaels, Jake Cole, Dylan Schwallenberg, Kyle Matthews, Dougie Shears, Drew Austin, Kenny McCurry, and Cody Lamas. And when you look through the running order as far as the drivers who came in the point standings, the hardest hitting one for those drivers is going to be Joshua Collard. Came in 15th in the point standings and 4th in rookie points. The other drivers that were involved, this isn't going to be too good for them either because they didn't exactly have the best of Daytona 500s, and to follow up Daytona with a DNF is not going to put them in good stead as far as the point standings are concerned heading into next week at Las Vegas. Getting ready to go back to green, the top 5 and Sean Henley, who restarts I think in 7th place, did not pit. Everybody else did. Green flag back out here, and Richard Johnson going to get us back underway. Richard Johnson, the only one of the Petty Enterprises Dodges that has not really been affected by Phoenix International Raceway here today, as he currently leads the way. Austin LaPlante trying to use the lap-down machine of Levi McIntyre. McIntyre still up to speed, but not on the lead lap. Look at Kyle Corbett use the middle groove to get underneath the 17. Ian Dutta now coming into view there too. Almost got into the back of the 17 machine. And Kyle Corbett, nice move, moves himself into the 2nd position. And the caution flag is out again. Not really surprised about that. So Kyle Corbett not going to be able to run down Richard Johnson. Instead, the caution flag going to do it for him. But Richard looks like he's going to be the leader here under our 3rd caution of the day, which again looks like it was an incident off of 4. Corbett got the wall there. LaPlante almost gave him a run for his money as far as 2nd place was concerned at the line. And, oh man, the other one of the Petty Enterprises cars, Boy, Richard Johnson's leading the way, but Joshua Collar DNF'd, and looks like Harrison Langford may not be too far behind. The Victory Junction gang Dodge is crunched. Dylan Young is involved. There's another car smoking. Is that William Duncan? Trent Dunham has retired. No, who's out of the car? Oh, James Silverfox. I think he's, yeah, 6th in the point standings. Not good for him. That Audi all torn up. Jessica Shelton, James McLeod are involved. Nick Barney, I saw, had some damage. And more drivers coming to pit road. Oh, Michael Norman's got a buckle on his hood. He's gotten involved in whatever this incident was. There's Sandfer coming to pit road. Ian Dutta's coming to pit road, and so are the top 3. Charles Jackson's got damage. I think the lead's going to cycle over to the 42 of Andrea Erickson. There's Johnson, LaPlante, Corbett, all on pit road. What strategy is going to be for these drivers? Gas and go. Whoa, Richard Johnson nearly getting into LaPlante coming off pit road there. And Richard Johnson first on, first off of pit road, but I'm pretty certain, yeah, Andrea Erickson is going to be the leader. Second place, I think, will be Galligan. Bob Jones third, Noah Hart fourth, and Megan Atkins, I think, is going to be fifth when we go back to green. But let's see what happened. Another big wreck taking place here at Phoenix, and puts us under the caution one more time. Well, let's see how this one broke out. There was smoke up ahead already. We may have to look further up in just a moment, but take a look at this incident right here between Dunham, Langford, and company. Oh, man, William Duncan gets run in behind by the Jake Rogers machine. Langford then runs into him. Now, wait a minute. What happened to the 99? Because he appeared to be very, very slow. Oh, here's what happened. Duncan, who was actually up inside the top 10 at this point, he's going to make contact with Andrea Erickson after Erickson bounces off the wall. And then, oh, contact with Mary Cole. Sends the 99 sliding. Now, look at that. Look at the brakes on that thing. Glowing red hot as he's trying to bring that Best Buy Ford screeching to a halt. He succeeds, but then here come these drivers not willing to slow up. Right here, Jake Rogers head into there. Oh, man. And there's Langford and Dylan Young getting a piece of it. And something else must have happened further up, because Jessica Shelton had damage, and so did a couple others. Okay, there's Nick Barney and James Silverfox. I kind of almost think this thing's going to start up here with them. Whoa! There it was. Mary Cole got turned into the infield. Holy cow. Okay, they were 4 wide here between Henley, McCrory, Bob Jones, and Mary Cole. First time we've seen him 4 wide out of turn 2, and this is going to be the result right there. Henley's going to bounce down into his former teammate, Mary Cole. Cole then's going to go off the nose of Bob Jones, and then hard in the inside wall, straight back up the track, and Silverfox nowhere to go. Neither does Nick Barney. Chris Washer, how did he get through there? Oh, well, he didn't. I thought he did. I jinxed him. There's Michael Norman getting a piece of it. And then these other drivers just going to start piling in. There you go, Megan Atkins, Jessica Shelton right there. That's 3 of the Michael Waltrip cars. And then, whoa, wait a minute. Did we have a similar incident take place here with Dylan Young and James McLeod and Silverfox? What happened here? Someone else slid up into somebody. Let's see. Right here, McLeod's behind Silverfox. Daly, oh, Dylan Young just comes piling in. Never even slowed down. Straight into the back of McLeod. Silverfox going to get spun around again. Trent Dunham involved there with Cole Daly. And Silverfox slides up into the back of Chris Washer. Wow. But that impact there with Mary Cole coming up into Silverfox. That was one hard lick, let me tell you. Caution flag is out one more time here at Phoenix. More drivers will be going back behind the wall as a result. And my goodness, Phoenix is just starting to rip these drivers apart here as we continue to progress on in today's event. So we get ready to go back to green flag racing. As this race progresses, the track, Phoenix International Raceway, keeps rearing its ugly head. As it keeps rearing, the field keeps disappearing as more drivers have gone back behind the wall as a result of what we saw just take place. And they are going to include the following. I believe Michael Norman has gone behind the wall, but he might have actually continued. We're going to have to find out in just a moment if that's the case, but I believe officially the drivers out of the race so far now are Jessica Shelton, James McLeod, Dylan Young, Mary Cole, Trent Dunham, James Silverfox, Harrison Langford, and Jake Rogers, joining a number of other drivers back behind the wall. There you see William Duncan. He is a lap down. On the tail end of the lead lap, his teammate Levi McIntyre just ahead of new leader. That is Andrea Erickson. There's Charles Jackson on the inside line. He's a lap down. And is Michael Norman still in this race or not? No, Michael Norman is still not in this race. He has officially DNF'd from today's event as well. Top 10 as we go back to green. Andrea Erickson, Sean Galligan, Bob Jones, Noah Hart, Megan Atkins, then it's Pichu London, Chris Washer, Cole Daly, Nick Barney, and Richard Johnson. The first of the cars to pin under that caution. Restarts in 10th place as Andrea Erickson got away from Sean Galligan. Galligan having trouble with the lap traffic. And Erickson actually goes right to work putting Levi McIntyre a lap down again. Keep in mind, Andrea Erickson is not battling Levi McIntyre for a position on track, but for possibly rookie points. Remember, if Levi McIntyre gets back on the lead lap, who's to say he couldn't work his way back up to the front, challenge Andrea Erickson for a few rookie points? And he's going to come back to the inside line. But good battle here going on between two rookies, not for the lead, but for one driver trying to get himself back on the tail in the lead lap, the other one trying to keep that lap car between herself and second place driver Sean Galligan. As a matter of fact, that battle for second appears to be heating up pretty soon. Galligan's got it, but here comes Megan Atkins and Noah Hart, both having good runs here today. Galligan's going to get the wall, and here comes Atkins. Atkins with a big run, jives to the inside, and moved Megan Atkins immediately to second place. Good run right now today for the 33, but Galligan's not going to give up without a fight. Here he comes, still coming to the back bumper, as Andrea Erickson leads the way by a good margin, then a lap car of Levi McIntyre, then this good battle for second place between Tweenix Racing and Michael Norman Motorsports. Off of 4 here, both Atkins and Galligan do not hit the wall. Whoa, Bob Jones must have gotten the wall though, because Chris Washer now moves himself into 4th place. 5th place to LaPlante, and now Noah Hart looking for 6th underneath Bob Jones, as I think the caution flag is out again. I wouldn't be surprised. Whoa, LaPlante nearly got into the back of Chris Washer there. That was close. Are they going to go 3 wide? They're going 3 wide for 4th place. Jones, LaPlante, Washer. This can't end well. Someone please back out of that. Chris Washer's going to. Thank you, Chris. And Bob Jones going to get 4th place here. And the driver that did not want to see that caution flag, Andrea Erickson, was running really well. Had a lap car between herself and Galligan, and now that's all going to go away. The only thing is she may still have that lap car between herself and Megan Atkins, I should have said. I forgot Atkins took 2nd place away, because it's going to be a single file restart when we go back to green. However, are these drivers going to have to come down pit road? We've seen a number of them come down pit road in the last few cautions, and we're going to have a total of 8 laps to go when they hit the stripe. Looks like Galligan, maybe one of those drivers, going to have to come down pit road this time. So here comes Sean. Is anybody else going to come down pit road this time? Galligan giving up valuable track position, and he appears to be pretty much the only one that's going to be coming down pit road here. So we'll have to see how that's going to affect Sean Galligan and the Yoshi Chevrolet. And I'm curious to know as well what the caution actually came out for. And I almost wonder if it might have been for Charles Jackson. I'm not certain, but I wonder if the slower lap car may have spun on the front straightaway. So we're going to jump back, take a look at the replay now, see what puts us under the yellow flag once again here at Phoenix with only a handful of laps left to go. And this caution came out for the Kyotech Audi of Ralph Mason, running in the 10th position right here. Boy, he got a real good run on Ian Dutta, who got loose off that corner, but Richard Johnson was already to his inside, and so off the nose of the 93 goes Mason, pancakes the passenger side door into the inside retaining wall, slides the brakes, gets his car turned right around, and he's going to mash the throttle and drive away. So a solo car spin here out of 4 for Ralph Mason. He was 10th the last time around. He slid across the stripe in 14th place. If he doesn't come to pit road, that's where he'd restart. But driver comes in 7th in point stands involved in this one, and that brings us under the yellow one more time and may give us a shootout to finish out today's event here at Phoenix. Two incidents causing the caution flag here. The first one's going to start up here with Jacob Lawler and Noah Hart. Behind them there, you see Kyle Corbett and Ralph Mason again spinning around. Lawler's going to get hit by the Richard Johnson machine sent up into Noah Hart. That's going to cause his car to go around. We'll jump back and look at the incident with Ralph Mason in just a moment. The pole sitter Kyle Corbett's going to get involved in this one. He's been avoiding incidents all day long, not able to avoid the last one today. Tough break there for the 56, comes in fourth in points, and Lawler gets spun around here, and then Nick Barney not going to slow up. Hits the 11 car pretty doggone hard there. I don't know why Nick Barney did that, but he just got more damage on his 16 machine. And now let's switch over to the 87. Second time in 2 cautions that Ralph Mason has been turned off of 4. And almost exactly the same kind of thing that happened to him under the last caution. Gets the run there on the car that hit the wall, this time being Kyle Corbett. And then he's going to go off the nose of the Nick Barney machine. And Mason, boy, what a tough break for him. Lightning strikes twice for the Judas Priest Andy Fox Late Model Series Fries Audi. He's going to get the wall again, slide across the start-finish line, and boy, he had himself a good car in 2 spins, back-to-back spins, here for Ralph Mason in 2 back-to-back cautions. But white flag has just been displayed. We got to jump back. Looks like Andrea Eriksson may be en route to her first career Snickers Cup Series win. On the back straightaway here, the white flag was displayed just moments ago over the hood of the Target Chevrolet, which to my knowledge has not been to victory lane since the Zenjoltis race of Season 5, when John Cittadino won the championship and the season finale all in the same day. And what a coup for Sega Racing. Changed their name coming into this race, and for the first time in Season 7, Sega Racing is going to go to victory lane with their rookie driver, Andrea Eriksson, here today at Phoenix. The rookies have really been on fire here in all 3 series at the beginning of the season. And Andrea Eriksson is going to be able to put a feather in her cap in only her 2nd career NNSCRA start. She will pick up her 1st career NNSCRA win. The Subway Fresh Fit 500 goes to Andrea Eriksson and the 42 team. And what a great victory there for Andrea Eriksson. Undoubtedly, when we saw her out in front, she really had the dominant car of the day. A very fast machine. And Andrea Eriksson, I think, started this race in the 21st position, so we can't say that she didn't earn this win here today by any stretch of the imagination. And look at this, a bridesmaid for the 2nd week in a row. Bob Jones missed out on winning the Daytona 500 to Charles Sandfer last week, misses out on winning the race here today to Andrea Eriksson, his fellow Rookie of the Year contender. And Bob Jones, back-to-back 2nd place runs here to start off the season. Great run for that Richard Childress Chevrolet. 3rd place was Austin LaPlante. 4th place was Megan Atkins and Chris Washer. Man, talk about surviving. Washer's going to survive today with a 5th place run. So the cars come down pit road. Let's give you a look at your top 10 results here for today's race. No doubt about it. Anybody that finished in the top 10 today certainly earned it. We gave you the top 5. How about Ian Dutta? Ended up finishing 12th last week at Daytona. Comes away with a solid 6th place run here today. He's really doing his part for Stewart-Haas Racing. Charles Sandfer will probably still be the points leader heading next week. He survived Daytona. He survives Phoenix, a 7th place run for the 500 winner. Richard Johnson spent a lot of time out in front. Pit strategy put him towards the back, but he was able to come back with a top 10 run here today of 8th. 9th place, Jacob Lawler. How many times did we see Lawler get spun around here today or get wrecked? He's still going to get a top 10. And Noah Hart, great run for that Audi out of Kyotech Racing. He's going to get 10th place here today. Why don't we go a little bit further down? Anthony McCurry, didn't talk about him hardly at all today. Great run for his Audi in 11th. John Cittadino started in dead last. Picked up 30 spots to finish 12th here today. Great run for him. Tweenix Racing, pretty good runs for them today here at their home track with Danny Wells in 13th and Sean Henley 14th. Cole Daly survived for 15th place. 2 back-to-back spins had Ralph Mason finish in 16th place. Sean Galligan, after a late pit stop, finishes 17th. 18th was Pichu London, Kyle Corbett in 19th, and 20th place was Nick Barney. I believe that was it for the cars in the lead lap, and the cars a lap down that finished the race were Levi McIntyre, William Duncan, and Charles Jackson. Everybody else finished out of the race. But how about Andrea Eriksson? Her 2nd career start, picks up her 1st career win, and Sega Racing, in their 1st race since changing their name, they're going to have one of their cars go to victory lane here today. No doubt about it, I'm pretty sure that Charles Sandfer, wait a minute, they're telling me that Charles Sandfer and Bob Jones, due to where they finished today, they're tied for the Snickers Cup Series points lead heading into Las Vegas. So this should be an interesting storyline heading into that racetrack, where we are going to be heading very shortly for our third race weekend of the season. But a tie atop the Snickers Cup Series point standings here in only race number 2 of Season 7. Imagine that. Wow. But Andrea Eriksson's going to be definitely celebrating today. She becomes the first rookie in the Snickers Cup Series to win here in Season 7, and did it in very good fashion as well. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race at Phoenix. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official finishing results, overall point stands, and rookie points heading next week at Las Vegas, where we have Trucks, Mobile, and Snickers Cup Series action coming from that particular track. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, Offline Racing at its best.